Here's the situation. Nnamdi Kanu, who leads the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is facing serious charges in Nigeria. According to credible sources, the trial of Kanu was adjourned to Monday, 27 October 2025, because the court found that he did not have access to his case file, among other problems. What does this mean? The lawyer's promise of freedom today looks, at least from current public records, premature. The trial proceedings are still ongoing, and the court is firm. The defense days cannot be extended beyond the time set. So why is the lawyer making that promise? It could be several things. It may be meant to galvanize supporters, raise morale, or build public pressure. It might reflect a legal strategy. Perhaps they believe they've secured favorable developments behind closed doors, and they want to alert the media and public. Or it could simply be optimism or even miscommunication. Let's walk through the broader context. Background. Kanu is a British Nigerian national and the leader of IPOB, which is proscribed by the Nigerian government as a terrorist organization. He was first arrested in 2015, fled while on bail in 2017, and was re-arrested in Kenya in 2021 in controversial circumstances. His trial is for alleged terrorism and treason-related offenses. He claims the charges are politically motivated. His supporters claim his detention is unjust and an attempt to suppress the pro-Biafra movement. What is happening now? The court has adjourned his trial to 27 October, and the defense says they cannot proceed yet because his legal team did not hand over his documents. There's been public protest about his detention. On 20 October, security forces used tear gas to suppress demonstrations in Abuja. The lawyer's promise of freedom today does not yet align with any confirmed court ruling releasing him in the public domain. What viewers should watch for? Will the court session on Monday proceed as scheduled? If yes, will the defense open its case? Will there be any surprise ruling, for example, bail granted or dismissal of charges that can make freedom a reality? What will the government's response be? Given the high-profile nature of this case and its political implications, any development will be watched closely. What the lawyer means by freedom today. Is it literal release, or perhaps a step in the right direction? For example, hospital check, transfer, bail hearing, that they are calling freedom. Why this matters? For Nigeria overall, this case touches on national security, separatist movements, justice, and the rule of law. For the southeast region of Nigeria, the area where Kanu's movement draws much of its support has long-standing grievances. For international observers, Kanu holds dual nationality, and the manner of his arrest, rendition, and trial has had global human rights interest. Some thoughts for you, the viewer. If you're tracking this story, keep in mind, when you see headlines saying freedom today or similar, check the actual court orders. A promise is not a court order. Take claims with caution until there's documentation or official notice. Also, the social media chatter will explode. Expect hashtags, memes, strong opinions. Try to filter fact from wishful thinking. Ask, what court order? What official statement? So what's the takeaway right now? The lawyer's promise is bold and raises hope for supporters. But the legal process is still underway. Nothing publicly confirmed yet to suggest immediate release. This story remains fluid. Developments could come fast, and we'll need to watch closely. Recently, supporters have been gathering again, not just in the southeast, but even in Abuja and other parts of Nigeria, holding peaceful rallies and demanding his release. They say he has been in detention for too long and deserves justice. But the government's stand remains firm. They believe his activities under IPOB have led to unrest, attacks on security formations, and instability in the region. Now here's the key twist. The lawyer representing him has come out to tell followers to get ready, because freedom might come today. That statement went viral immediately. Social media platforms X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok are filled with people reacting, praying, celebrating in advance, and even doubting if this freedom talk is realistic. And that's the tricky part. because legally, nothing has changed yet. The case was just adjourned, meaning the court will resume later. But some analysts say the lawyer may know something the public doesn't, maybe some negotiation or a possible ruling that could favor Kanu. Let's be honest, this case has dragged on for too long. Nigerians are tired of the back and forth. Whether you support Kanu or not, everyone wants to see justice done fairly. Because if someone is accused, they should either be tried and judged properly or released if there's no case. Keeping someone in detention for years without closure only fuels more tension. Now let's look at what's happening politically behind the scenes. You see, we are in a sensitive period, with the government trying to maintain peace in different regions, from insecurity in the north to agitation in the southeast. Any major decision around Kanu could have ripple effects across the country. That's why the government is being very cautious. At the same time, the southeast governors and traditional leaders have been quietly appealing for a political solution, something outside the courtroom, to bring lasting peace to the region. The lawyer's promise of freedom today might be connected to such moves. Maybe there's ongoing negotiation, or maybe he's trying to build momentum for public sympathy. But here's the question I want to ask you, my viewers. Do you think Nnamdi Kanu's freedom will actually bring peace to the southeast, or will it spark more demands? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comment section. I read every one of them. And please, while you're dropping your thoughts, like this video if you're following the story, and subscribe to the channel so we can grow together and keep breaking down Nigeria's biggest headlines in simple, clear English. Now, let's talk about the reactions online. People are split. Some are posting videos saying, "Freedom at last." Others are warning against getting too excited until there's an official court document or statement. Even some legal experts have weighed in, saying that unless the court has issued a release order, no one should claim victory yet. This isn't the first time we've seen this type of situation. If you remember back in 2022 and again in 2023, there were moments when rumors spread that Kanu was about to be freed, only for the news to turn out to be false or misinterpreted. It created confusion, disappointment, and frustration among supporters. That's why people are being extra careful this time. However, one thing is sure, there's growing pressure on the government. Human rights groups, community leaders, and even some international voices have been calling for a peaceful resolution. They say holding Kanu indefinitely could worsen ethnic tensions and hurt Nigeria's image globally. Now, let's imagine for a second, if Kanu actually gets released, what happens next? Will IPOB suspend its activities? Will the sit-at-home orders finally stop? Will there be dialogue between the federal government and Igbo leaders? Those are big questions, and they determine whether this freedom will lead to peace or new drama. Also, some insiders have said that there are ongoing talks behind closed doors, discussions involving elders, lawyers, and even government representatives trying to reach a deal that could pave the way for his release under certain conditions. Maybe that's what the lawyer meant by saying Kanu will be free today. Maybe he's not talking about physical release, but a breakthrough in those talks. Still, until there's an official confirmation, the right thing is to stay calm, stay watchful, and avoid fake news. Every time this story trends, you'll see lots of fake accounts posting misleading videos or headlines just to go viral. Please, don't fall for that. Follow verified sources and real journalists who check their facts. Alright guys, we'll pause here for a moment, but before I continue with what might happen next, what the court could decide on Monday, and how this story might shape Nigeria's political future, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2 of this gist.